Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I am Ian the Reader, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my October TBR, my to be read for the month of October. I am really excited about the books that I'm going to be reading this month. It's definitely an ambitious list. I have a lot of plans for the month of October, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get to everything, but I'm very excited either way. I'm a little bit intimidated, and I'm a little bit worried about some of the books that I have picked. You'll see why in a little bit, but I'm also very excited. So, I have kind of like three different denominations of books that I'm hoping to get to in October, and I'm going to go ahead and go over each of those with you guys. So, the first set of books that I'm hoping to get to in October are my leftovers from the month of September. So I don't have a lot of leftover books from September, but there are two books that I'm in the middle of right now, and I would like to get those finished as soon as possible in October. So the first of those books is called The Perishing. It is an arc that I got from NetGalley. It is by Natashia, Deón, and it is really, really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I don't believe that it comes out until the first week of November. I'll leave the actual release date in the description of the video. But it's been really interesting so far. It's a strange book. I can't even really describe like what it's about at this point. I'm only about a third of the way through, but it's told in a very interesting narrative style. It jumps back and forth in time between 1931, I believe, and then like the year 2100 and something. So it's like the past and the future, and it's really interesting. It follows a black woman who lives like eternally, and she kind of like has different versions of herself that she lives in throughout time. Like, I don't really know how it works yet. It's very mysterious. It's really well written. I don't have a full grasp on where it's going yet, but I'm really excited about it. So that's the first book that I hope to finish in October. The second book is Bewilderment by Richard Powers. So this is the new book by Richard Powers. I haven't actually read anything by Richard Powers, but he is a very well-known author. He won the Pulitzer Prize at some point recently, and he is very popular for his book The Overstory, which I believe came out like 2017 or something like that. But he has a lot of books. I really didn't know a lot about this going into it, and I still don't. Again, it's another one of those that's kind of hard to describe, but it's about a man and his son, and they're dealing with the after effects of having lost, the wife and mother that they loved. And it's very scientific. It's very beautifully written. There's a lot of really heartfelt moments, especially for like me as a father. And I'm really enjoying it. I picked it up because I'd heard a lot of buzz about it, and also I'd been wanting to try Richard Powers before, and this book is pretty short. It's like less than 300 pages, and a lot of his other books are like massive, so I thought this would be a good place to start. So I'm enjoying it so far, and I hope to finish that in the first week of October. Okay, so the second denomination of books that I'm hoping to read in October are the ones that I'm like for sure gonna read. I say that. To be honest with you guys, I am not always on top of following my TBR. I'd say I follow like about 70% of my TBR. I make a TBR every month, and I usually post it on my Instagram. You can follow me there. I'm at Ian the Reader there as well. And every month I probably read about 70% of my TBR, but I'm also kind of a mood reader, and so I'll pick up random books as well throughout the month. But these are the books that I am for sure planning on getting to in October. So the first of those I'm really, really, really excited about. So this is my book club pick for my in-person book club, and it is The Lord of the Rings, Book 1, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is the only copy of The Lord of the Rings that I have, so I'm going to hold up the whole thing, but I am planning on reading The Fellowship of the Ring in October, Two Towers in November, and The Return of the King in December. I have already read The Lord of the Rings, so this is going to be a reread for me, but I haven't read them since I was in middle school, so it is going to be the first time I've read them in like 15 years. I am so excited about this. It's going to be so nice returning to Middle Earth and just enjoying this world again. I'm really, really excited. I got the audiobook actually for this. They just re-released the audiobooks, and it's narrated by Andy Serkis, who played Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies, and he's also in a lot of other stuff. He's really wonderful. But I'm super excited to listen to The Fellowship of the Ring in October. So yes, planning on getting into that really soon. Okay, so the next part of the for sure books that I want to talk to you guys about is a set of books that I have issued myself a challenge for some reason. So I thought it would be really fun to do a reading vlog, but I wanted to have some idea behind it that wasn't just like, I'm reading books. And so for this, my wife and I have recently been watching the show What We Do in the Shadows, which is a really ridiculous and funny TV show about vampires. It's very satirical. But with that show and with it being the month of October and Halloween coming up, I thought it'd be really fun to do a vampire reading vlog. I haven't read a lot of vampire books. I've read Salem's Lot by Stephen King, which is excellent. I've read Twilight, which I did not like. I read the first book I read the first book once in like middle school, and then I reread it back in I think 2019, and I gave it like 2 stars. Sorry guys. But other than that, I mean, like the Dresden Files has some vampires, but I haven't read a lot of like vampire books. And so I thought it'd be fun to read a bunch of them and vlog my experience of reading these vampire books. And so be looking out for that near the end of October, the vampire reading vlog. How it's going to work is I'm going to read 6 vampire books in the month of October. I'm terrified, not because it's going to be scary, but because I don't know how I'm going to like them. But I tried to pick like different kinds of vampire books, and so each one of them has kind of like a different vibe, I think, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the books that I'm going to be reading. So the first of my vampire books is, of course, Dracula by Bram Stoker. I believe that's how you say it, Bram Stoker. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be my classic for October. I've been wanting to read Dracula for a long time, and I just haven't. And so this is the perfect opportunity. Dracula is going to be read this month, and I'm really excited. So that is my classic vampire book. Kind of following that up is another more like modern classic, I guess. And I think it's a little bit more in the horror genre of vampire books, and that is Interview with a Vampire, or Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. This is the first of the Vampire Chronicles, and I'm super excited about reading this. I've had this on my shelf for a few months. I've wanted to pick it up, and I think this is the perfect opportunity, so yes. So the next one, this is more of like an urban fantasy vampire book, and I am not really excited about this one. This is one of the ones I'm really worried about reading just because I don't think I'm going to like it as much. But, oh, by the way, thank you everyone who filled out my questionnaire thing on Instagram, on my Instagram story, when I asked what are your favorite vampire stories and series, because I got a lot of these suggestions from that. So thank you so much for contributing to that. I really appreciate it. But one of my Instagram followers suggested this, said it was one of their favorites. So I'm going to be reading Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. This is the first in the Sookie Stackhouse novels, which is what the True Blood Vampire TV show is based off of. Like I said, it's like urban fantasy, I think. I don't really know a lot about this, but it just doesn't really seem like my kind of thing. But I'm gonna give it a go, and we'll see what happens. So, cool. All right, so the 4th vampire book that I'm planning on picking up, this is another one I'm not really sure about at all, but here we go. I've seen this a lot on Instagram, and I'm gonna give it a try. So this is Crave by Tracy Wolfe. I've seen this all over Instagram, and like when I saw it, I was like, what is this Twilight knockoff thing that I'm seeing? Because like, look at that. That's like basically a Twilight cover. Come on. But yeah, so I'm gonna be picking up Crave, which is my like YA pick for this vampire reading challenge. I don't know what this is about. I think it involves a school of vampires or something like that. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a go, and we'll see how it turns out. You'll find out when I do, I guess, if you follow me on Instagram, and also in the reading vlog. So, you know, as I'm filming this, I'm kind of wondering why I'm doing this to myself, but it's gonna be a good time, so yeah. Okay, so the last 2 vampire books that I'm planning on picking up, I don't have physical copies of. The first of those is my adult fantasy vampire book, and I'm really actually very excited about this one. 1, because I've heard a lot of buzz about it, and also about this author, but 2, because it just came out, so I'm really excited to read a new release among these, and that is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I've never read a J. Kristoff book, but I've seen his stuff all over the place, so I'm really excited to finally pick up a J. Kristoff book. And this one, of the bunch, aside from like probably Dracula, I think this is the one I'm most likely to enjoy. I don't know why. I just think it sounds really cool. So I'm excited to read Empire of the Vampire. And then the last of these 6 vampire books, I wanted to include an indie author. And so I actually found this novella called Bloodsucker City. It is by Jim Towns. It was available on NetGalley. And it sounded really interesting and it fit my vampire challenge, so I'm going to be reading that book as well for my vampire challenge. So like I said, keep an eye out near the end of October for that vampire reading vlog. I'm really excited about it. I've never done a reading vlog before, so you'll have to bear with me and we'll see how it goes. But I think it's going to be fun. I don't know how the reading experience is going to go itself, but I'm in for it. I'm here for it. It's going to be good. Great. And then the last set of books that I am hoping to get to in the month of October are my maybe books. They're the books that I'm less convinced that I'm going to read in the month of October, but I would like to get to them either this month or probably in November. The first of those is called The Lincoln Highway. It is by Amor Towles. I don't know if that's how you say his name, man, but I tried. It comes out, I believe, October 5th, so this upcoming Tuesday. I'm hoping it's a Book of the Month pick. By the time I post this, I think the Book of the Month picks will be out, so fingers crossed that it is a Book of the Month pick. But I've been really looking forward to this book. It is by the author of A Gentleman in Moscow, which was one of my favorite books that I read in 2020. And I've been looking forward to this all year, so if I don't get to it in October, I will definitely get to it in November. The next book that I'm hoping to read in October, this is a maybe again, is Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. It is the first book in the Hannibal Lecter series, which is, The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Rising, and Red Dragon. I would love to get to this in October just because it definitely has the creepy vibes that I'm looking for October and Halloween time. But I have all those vampire books, so I don't know if it's going to happen. With this one, if I don't read it this month, I may save it till next year, honestly. So we'll see if I get to this one. Next up is one that I have been meaning to read for so long. Again, I want to get to it in October, but I just don't know if it's going to be possible because I have so many other reading plans for this month, and that is The Eye of the World, the first book in the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Now, the TV adaptation on Amazon Prime is coming in early November, I believe, and so ideally I would like to at the very least read the first book before that show comes out. I don't know if it's going to be possible. I may just wait to watch the show until I've read at least the first book, but we'll see. I'd like to pick this up. No promises. And the last book that is hopefully going to happen in October is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I've been meaning to read this book at a lot of points in this year, and for some reason it just keeps not happening. So here's hoping October's the month. It's probably not going to be. More likely November. We'll see what happens, but either way, I'm very excited. And that is my October TBR. Like I said, I'm really excited about a lot of these books that I'm planning on reading. I don't know if I'll finish all of them, but that is the goal. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know in the comments which book you are most excited to hear my thoughts on. I'm really excited about this vampire reading challenge, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!